friends, this is the M14 battle rifle that I did an unboxing video of last month, and here it is built. I was hoping to be able to show it to you working and being able to fire it. Unfortunately, it's just so badly built that I've only been able to fire it once, and after that I could not get it to fire again. But we'll take a look at it in its built stage, and I'll show you what's broken on it. But here's the gun. It has a mix of system brick versus Technic brick, but it's mostly Technic beams and lift arms and panels all the way through. But you'll see some system things, like this entire handle is system, and then near the end here we start to see some system things. These are all wheels like for city cars. And as I said in the unboxing, it has a completely custom piece for the scope, and it has like a plastic lens on each side of it. Let's turn this one around. Maybe you can see the other end there. Yep. And this does not turn, the top does not turn. It has a little bit of a thumb screw right here to secure it to the Technic base. And there is a trigger, and this is where you pull it. It's a little bit loose. It always kind of comes out, that one little guy right there. And this is the clip. So it doesn't stay in very well. Kind of does that, and then comes out. And then you can load it up with ammunition. And what it comes with for the ammunition is essentially these little guys. And it's what you would know as a stud shooter, or like a bolt shooter from Lego. And they've just added a 1x4 tile on top of it, I think to prevent them from clicking together when they're in the clip. And then one of these guys, the bolts. And then you stick that in there, and then what it does is when you press this, press the trigger, then it actually sends the bolt out. So the bolt will fire out, and as you can guess, that doesn't go very far, right? So it doesn't fire through this at all. It actually fires through a like a tunnel that comes through here and then out through here through this space. So if you can imagine it through here, this is the amount that it fires. Let's just hit it. I'll turn it upside down. That's the amount that you can expect it to fire. And you put them into this clip, and you have to very gingerly do it, because you just touch it the wrong way and then it'll actually fire. So you push them in to the clip. I think you can do 7 of them or so, and then they're supposed to stay in place. And this clip actually moves and lets you put a bunch in. But because of the way it's built, it has a lot of play in it. It gets really wonky. And of course, just putting them in there, you start to have them get jammed. And then once they get up to the top and start to load into the gun, of course, they're jammed as well. The other thing I wanted to point out was that although these are familiar Lego pieces, and here's a genuine Lego piece that looks like that, the same function, the bolts are different. So this is the bolt that comes with this gun, and here's a genuine excuse me, Lego bolt. So they're different lengths. So that's something I noticed. I think they probably had to make it shorter at the last second to fit inside the clip. That's my guess. So you put it in, loading them up. I'm not going to do it because it's just going to jam and I might have problems getting it in. But getting it in is really wonky. You got to kind of tilt it, push it, and then, like I said before, it just sits there. There's no way to kind of keep it secured. And when it's working, there is this lever in there, and mine broke just now as I was testing it before this video. But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to be able to pull the trigger and the red bolt fires. Then you pull this back, and as you pull it back, it actually ejects this little guy. So almost like, you fired your bullet and now your casing is getting ejected out of it. So in concept, it's cool idea. It probably works once, but because this broke and I can see no actual way to reattach it, I have no idea how to get it back on there. And it's not like plastic broke. It just came off of whatever axle it was attached to. And it's been a while since I built it, so I don't remember where it goes. It does look like it'll be a bit of surgery to figure that out, and I'm not really inclined to figure that out. And there are some stickers that it came with that I didn't put on. These go here on the, I think it's called the stock on the very end here. And these are just decorations that go on the forward part of the gun. The thing I wanted to point out was that in the instructions, man, I did not realize how hard it would be to read these instructions at this size. These are super tiny. I don't know if you can tell how small this is, but there were often many times I couldn't tell what was black versus dark gray. I couldn't tell if it was an axle hole or a regular hole. I actually had to borrow my wife's photography loupe, which is a big like magnifying glass, and I had to get a table lamp to light it up to get it bright enough and magnified enough so that I could see what these things were. It was a pain, and every step took a long time because I had to decipher what I was looking at in the instructions. So I think I can only recommend this gun as a display piece, right? So it has a presence. It looks sort of convincing from maybe 20 feet away. As a matter of fact, I gave this to my buddy Dave, and in giving it to him, it was at a coffee parking lot. I did a couple things. One is I wrapped this around the very end of it, this to help distinguish it from a real gun, and I also put it in a bag and handed it to him. And because it does look sort of realistic. It's probably, I don't know, I've never had one of these rifles, but it's probably bigger than the real world rifle. The other thing that comes to mind is that really they should have made the end of it, the tip, orange. And I think in some photos and some versions of this gun, they do use orange wheels on the end instead of the black wheels. And that would be the responsible thing to do. But I have this feeling this set was probably pawned off to somebody else. In my research, this set was also made by Mould King. It's an identical set from Mould King, but it looks like it's been rebranded by somebody else. And so now it's Lucky Block Gun, and there's Chinese characters. Oh, SUGESI is what it says here. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. Maybe Mould King wants to distance themselves from some of their products, the ones that are maybe less successful. I don't know. But yep, that's the gun. It's on the heavier side, fairly beefy. You can hold it. The pieces pretty much stay attached. The pros are that it does feel pretty solid when you're holding it. And if you're not touching this clip, everything else feels fairly solid. This is not adjustable. I think it's called the stock, right, where it adjusts to your shoulder length. It's not adjustable, and it is a little wonky the way that it is. But for the most part, if you just want something and you're a fan of this particular type of rifle and you want something to hang on the wall, then yeah, maybe this is something for you. But if you're expecting to play with it, forget it. You're not going to play with it. You're not going to have fun with it. Okay, there you go. So that's my look. If you liked the video, found it helpful, please hit like. If you could subscribe, that would help me out a bunch. Thanks so much.